with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bad body. Say, oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
Good evening, boxing fans. Welcome to iBoxingHub. If you're new to this channel, well, you know what you have to do. Subscribe, like, and share. I go by the name of BIYENGE, featuring yours truly, Trey. What's good?
Yes, cuz, big up to you and big up to the whole of the community. Whoever's tuned in, wherever you are, just make sure you head over to the comments and let us know where you are. So big up to everyone. We've got FK Breeze. Big up to FK Breeze. Big up to you, my brother. We're obviously going to make sure we're going to talk about, a tremendous weekend. But, cuz, before we get into the show, before we get into the formality, let's hear from our sponsors, D-Rock Clothing. Yes, people, you know the spiel by now. It's iBoxingHub in association with D-Rock. So people, take advantage of that discount code, which is iBoxingHub24, and you get 40% off everything. So if you liked what my cousin was wearing during the shadow boxing, just head over to the description and utilize that discount code. FK Breeze, it looks like he's ready. He's obviously saying war by name, war by Bumberclot nature. Now, big up to you, my brother. Cuz, before we get into the show properly, we obviously got to do the shout out, of course. Big up to the whole of the iBoxingHub family. You know, the work throughout the week has been tremendous. So, big up to Capital Kev as well. He's obviously been smashing it with his Capital Fat series. Big up to True Dollar Bill as well. He's obviously smashing it also with his recap shows. So he's obviously got another one going to be on the show after this, and I believe the Stay Weighed In brothers will be back. And also big up to Crossroads in boxing, IBH North, absolutely smashing it. CJ, Ricky, Eric, love the team, love everyone that's involved in the iBoxingHub family. But yeah, cuz, I can't lie, we've got a lot to talk about, man, because you know the weekend has been tremendous. I can't even lie to you. Firstly, it starts off when Man United win. That kind of sets the tone for the rest of the weekend, man. But it's been a good.
Scores?
Yeah, we obviously won 4-2, but it's more of a momentum thing because it's 3 wins in a row after beating Liverpool. So yeah, let's have it, man. Title number 21. I'm putting it out there, man. Manifesting it, let it come. But yeah, cuz, let's get down to business. You know what we're talking about.
Of course, the big one. The big main event that took place yesterday at O2 Arena. It was electrifying. Again, from the get-go, I said I was backing the underdog, and the underdog won the fight. I'm I'm really, really happy for Fabio Wardley, regardless of the outcome of the fight, because the fight itself, it could have went either way. Let's talk about round 2. What was your thoughts on round 2? Because that's where a lot of people started complaining. Did you think that Parker purposely spat out his gum, or do you think that Wardley knocked that gum out of his mouth, or do you think that the ref? I don't know. What's your thoughts? What's the people's thoughts?
Yes, cousins, right? What are your thoughts? Cuz, my thoughts, you know exactly what I'm going to say before we, break down the whole fight properly. But in terms of the second round, I just think it's just, he's a seasoned pro in the game. It could be just a tactic just to catch his breath a bit. It worked because he was able to recover quite well, in the mid part of the fight as well. So it worked in his favor, but eventually, you saw the stoppage in the end. I know a lot of people are gonna argue it might have been premature and whatever, man. But it was just a tremendous showing, man. And also, big shout out to Ezra, the Cannon Taylor. Great performance. Yes, shout out to Ezra Taylor, man. He's obviously blessed the channel, coming onto a few shows, doing interviews, live interviews. So I also know one of his, promoters as well that's been doing stuff with him back in the day. So, no, I've seen the journey. Big up to him. But yeah, cuz. Let me know your thoughts, man. Just in general, man. What was your thoughts actually, anyway, man? What are you saying?
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I think on the previous pod I said, right, never judge a book by its cover. I know a lot of people, had Parker to win because obviously Parker's a former world champion, and also Parker's resume and his last three opponents, Wilder, Zhang, and Mike McCauley. Now I get all that, but here's the thing. I said, look, boxing sometimes comes down to activity. Wardley has been active. Parker only had one round with McCauley, and this was a last minute replacement. Do you know what I mean? Hence why, he won the fight. So Parker going into this fight, he put on weight. I don't know if he purposely put on weight. Do you know what I mean? Where people was a bit shocked, thinking, "Ooh, because put on more weight slows you down." But he performed extremely well. Parker done really. In fact, Parker was winning at one stage. I think people had him 4 up. Do you know what I'm saying? He was winning. But Wardley, he's got a chin. I give it to him. He has got a chin. And look, it came down to who really wanted it, who really, really wanted it. And from the ref's point of view, I get where people's coming from. Some people are saying, look, ref stopped it too early. But remember, ref's going by what he can see, looking at Parker's body language, looking at his face. In other words, ref probably saved him to live and fight for another day, because if he had continued, I know the last those 3 shots he actually missed, it didn't really connect. But I suppose from a ref, he's just thinking like, look, I just need to save this guy, and not even that, I don't get paid overtime. So it would have been different if Parker had fought back, or if Parker had hugged Wardley. But again, look, I personally think the right man won, because I'm just looking at Wardley's story here. Just think about it. His 9 to 5 job, he was a recruitment. Then he done white collar boxing. Dylan White noticed him. Do you know what I'm saying? Not the promoters, not the match, not Queensway. Dylan White noticed him. Dylan White brought him on board. And now look, it's just like, it's amazing. It's amazing. And again, like, look, I know, again, people are saying, he has no chance with Usyk. But look, who knows? What I'm saying is, like, look, anything can happen in the heavyweight division. Yes, on paper, Usyk, definitely, the best in our generation. But we can't overlook Fabio Wardley. That's what I'm saying. We can't overlook him. And, again, obviously, the game plan to fight Usyk, but it's not going to be the same as that for Parker. I understand people say, look, Wardley is not a boxer. He's a puncher, whatnot. But even though, look, it just shows you he's got heart. Dude, the guy is 30. He look at him. He's next in line to fight for the undisputed, unless Usyk vacates the belt. But I can't see Usyk vacating that belt, because Usyk, he wants to be busy himself, and at the same time, Usyk needs somebody. He needs a challenge. I'd rather see Usyk fight Fabio Wardley than who else. Obviously, the person wanted to see him fight was actually Parker, but also, unfortunately, Parker's out of the picture now. But after Fabio Wardley, let's just say Usyk gets past Fabio. Let's say Usyk beats Fabio Wardley, maybe Caballero. Do you know what I mean? But in the meantime, that's the fight I want to see. I mean, look, just hypothetically, just imagine, right? Just imagine if Wardley beats Usyk. He'll be the first Brit to do it.
Yeah, cuz that's absolutely crazy. And you know what? I'm still in a bit of kind of excitement, man, because I don't know if you remember. I'm sure you do. It was obviously on our preview show. Um, I was asked about a prediction, and I've actually got the clip of the prediction for the people just as a reminder, because sometimes you put out things, and look,
Mm.
it happens, man. So, ooh, all right. So I'm just gonna, because I'm just being cheeky. I would go for Wardley inside inside the championship rounds, man. Let's have it, man. I just want to see something different. You know, I respect Parker, what he's doing, man, but I want to go for the underdog. I want to be you for once, cuz, man. I'm just gonna go for
Do
the
you know what?
underdog, cuz I wanted to be you for once, and look, it happened as well. And also, Wardley, big up to Wardley, man, because I'm not gonna lie to you, cuz, and for the people, I'm putting this out there because I said it on the last show that I'm gonna be cheeky. I had a £5 free bet on Ladbrokes, and look, it came through, man. So thank you to Wardley. I had a lovely, breakfast this morning, man. So yeah, just wanted to just say big up to it, man. Big up, big up. But yeah, cuz I think it would be something different. And look, I just want to read a few of the comments from FK Breeze, man, because he's been getting involved, man. And big up to you. They both got a chin. Parker's spirit was forcing him to get up when he looked like he was going down, which is true. Wardley's a dog, like Nigel Ben. If he gets hurt, you're in trouble, and that's not taught, which is true. And Wardley's hand speed as well was really good. Now, big up to you, FK Breeze. And BNG, imagine that happens. That will be a piss take, man, to boxing critics. A white collar boxer with
Yeah.
no amateur background beats the generational great. And big up to Daniel Thomas as well, man. I'm not sure I've seen you here, man, but big up to you. I can't believe this happened. Howard Foster screwed up again. Ooh, so this is good. We've got a different perspective, and we've also got
Yeah.
our perspective. Because I want you to
Yeah.
respond back to this, man, to what
Do
FKB
you
is
know what?
saying.
Like I said, watching it, because a lot of people said watching it live, it was like, oh my gosh, ref done the good thing. Watching it on TV, the replays, it's like, ooh, should you have done that? But a lot of people, there's mixed emotions. Some people are saying, look, the reason why he done it because Parker wasn't responding, hence why he jumped in. Should Parker have, I don't know, hugged Wardley? I don't know. The outcome could have been different. I'm not too sure. But the thing is, Parker didn't argue. He didn't say, "Oh, I want an immediate rematch." It's unfair. He just walked out. He just said, "Oh, it's what it is." So it's just like maybe Parker was. I don't know. Maybe he was hurt.
Yeah, he showed tremendous heart, cousin.
Yeah,
One thing I would say as well, and look, a lot of people are kind of gonna go by his amateur experience or whatever, man. But each fight that he's having, he's obviously gaining experience. He's learning, perfecting the craft as well. And look, he's been in there. Look, I don't know if you've seen this picture. This is actually a
yeah,
legendary picture because this is uh, a moment when Wardley was doing a few sparring sessions with Usyk that probably gave him a little bit of something to take him on to his pro fights. And look, if that's the next fight, let's have it. But I don't know if Usyk's gonna take that fight. Will Usyk take that fight? Is that a
Do you know
money
what?
fight? Like commercially,
But
it can be
but
promoted,
okay.
and I would love to see it, cuz. But I'm trying to put
With
on
me,
the
I
business
want
hat
to
on.
see Usyk here. Yeah, no. Do you know what? Commercially, right? Look, we've said it so many times. Usyk has completed the game, right? He's done it. He's done it what twice, right? He's got nothing else to prove, but he wants to be busy. Yeah. Now, for Wardley, well, he's got an opportunity now to fight Usyk. Usyk says he wants to fight next year because obviously he's had his break now. He wants to be busy himself. He says he's got about, I think, 3 or 4 fights left in him. So why not? Why not? I mean, do I see it? If anything, yeah, I know this can sound silly, but I want to see that fight at the O2 Arena, Usyk and Wardley at the O2. I would like to
Yeah,
see
I
that fight
think
at the O2
it will
because, like,
check.
the thing is that
Hello.
look, the thing is, right, look. let's just say, all right, let's just say if Usyk, right, was to vacate the WBO, yeah, and Woodley fought for it, and let's just say Usyk vacated already, right, and Woodley fought for it, and he beat Parker, and he become the WBO champion. He will still want Usyk because Usyk has got all of the marbles. Do you know what I mean? So it just makes sense. Like, just get it. Like, the heavyweight will be interesting once Usyk retires, right? Once all the belts goes left, right, center, that's when the heavyweight division will be more exciting. So at the moment, it's one person holding all of the gold, and it's just like, there's a long queue and a long wait. Why not just let's just have it?
Yeah, so everyone's kind of getting involved. Big up to you, Daniel. I'm going to obviously read some of the comments here. Daniel's obviously saying Wardley is not a better boxer than Parker or many other heavyweights. He stands no chance against Usyk. It's not a fight he wants to see. All my days is that who need? No, it's not. I don't think it is. I didn't notice it. Usyk will not take the fight, and I think Daniel was also saying that Parker wasn't hurt. No, I think he was. I think he was getting hit with some heavy shots, man.
Do you know
I,
what? If
it was stopped early, but Parker wasn't answering or didn't even hold Wardley at that point. So yeah, sir, cuz what was you saying?
No, I'm saying like, okay, if Usyk don't fight Woodley next fight, who's next out there for Usyk to fight? I mean, when we talk about commercial fights, obviously the big fights was the likes of Fury, AJ, and Triple D, right? But commercially, there's no one else. There's no one else. Like I said, look, is it the money that's motivating Usyk, or is it just him just because he just loves boxing? I don't know because like we said, he's completed the game. If Usyk doesn't want to fight Woodley, then I suppose the next person for him to fight will be Fury trilogy. But then obviously he doesn't want Fury because there's no point. He's beaten him twice. Do you know what I mean? So the only person I can see Usyk fighting, if the opportunity was there, will most probably be Derek Chisora because Derek Chisora is next. Is number one IBF. But again, he's in talks in fighting in December the 13th, fighting Dillian White, and this will be his final fight. So at the moment, it's just like, look, eh, there's no options. Not that there's no options yet, but it just seems like Usyk's stuck in the mud at the moment because it just look. End of the day, yeah, I want to see that fight. I want to see. We know Usyk is well, obviously he's the guy. He's at the moment, no one ain't touching him. But the outcome of the fight, I just want to see how it goes. Me personally, just seeing what Daniel Dubois, not Daniel, sorry, what Wardley done, I think him fighting Usyk will probably do better than Triple D in the rematch. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's it's a fair opinion.
And they're
But
saying that Wardley hits hard, so if he was
yeah,
to land a few clean ones, who knows? It's one of them ones. You know what it is? The reason why I was back the underdog because I don't like watching fights where like, yeah, this person's gonna win. It's just so obvious and so bait. I wanna see, I wanna see an upset. I wanna see something where I'm like, whoa.
yeah, that, I get you. It's just Usyk, Crawford, right now they're kind of at that level now where they've got nothing else to prove in the sport, and when they kind of go up against opposition that it's not of the level of the kind of fights that he's been fighting. Is that something that he would kind of be motivated to do? Does it make commercial sense for him? It's just one of those things, man. But uh, I would
He's
love to
made
see.
he's made money.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it in terms of Wardley getting his chance, man. Because obviously big fan. Even you
Yeah.
said it. Cuz, you said it a few years ago, and I need to repeat it to the people that you genuinely thought that he's gonna be the next world heavyweight champion coming out of Britain, and look, he's gonna have an opportunity. But for some reason, the scenario that I see happening is that belt being vacated and him fighting for that vacated belt.
I mean, it's still good, don't get me wrong here, but it's just boring because I really do you know it's just watching that fight yesterday. Look, I can't compare Parker to Usyk. They're two different fighters. But it's the unknowing as in like just imagine like all right they're fighting and it goes to deep waters, and let's just say hypothetically he drops Usyk, everyone's gonna be like, oh my gosh. Let's just say, okay, he loses the fight, but people want to see it again. Oh my gosh, like he was one of the closest, apart from Fury, to beat Usyk. You know, so it's just one of them. It's just for me, it's about an excitement, and I personally think in terms of commercial, I think there'll be money in it because if they want to bring Usyk here in the UK at Wembley or O2, whatnot, I think there's money in it. There's money in it for Usyk, obviously, and Wardley, but there'll be some money for Usyk just to lace, to stick it up and make the fight happen. I believe so. But it's just it comes down to the public. But remember, we're living in a time now, right? Boxing, it can go either way now, man. It can really go either way. Yeah, with anyone, it's like, look, would Usyk ever get beaten? I don't know. I believe that anyone's capable of getting beaten. But my point is, like, can he retire undefeated, or will he retire with one defeat or two or three? I don't know, but we'll see.
I think he retires undefeated, cuz man. I just think
Here's a
that
question: if Wardley was to land, yeah, like the punch from the gods, and beats Usyk, what's your thoughts? What are you gonna say?
I can't just see it happening, cuz man. I can't even lie to you. You know why?
No,
The
no, no.
reason
Yeah, yeah,
the reason why I'm saying it, cuz, is because I feel like we've been here so many times where AJ was supposed to be that person, Fury was
yeah,
supposed to be that person, this
yeah,
person, Chisora was supposed to be that person. He was ultimately handicapped when he moved to heavyweight. He's the
yeah,
smallest guy in the division, so each
yeah, yeah.
heavyweight that he's fought up against, they all had that one punch chance. Dubois had two opportunities, man. Obviously, you're gonna argue about the first one, but then the second time we saw, levels in that aspect. So I just can't
Of
see it
course.
happening, man. I
But
can't,
you know
man.
what? You got a valid point there. But at the same time, remember they're all different peoples, and I would say, look, in heavyweight boxing, anything's no, but not just heavyweight boxing. In boxing, anything's possible. All it takes, for that one clean shot. Like Mike Tyson says, look, everybody has a game plan until you get hit in the face in it. So I just see it as like, look, like I said on paper, the same way. Look, they said Parker on paper. Parker's a former world champion, better resume, more experience, background, etc. But look, they had rockers yesterday. It was a good fight, and obviously, the better man won. But again, look, I just want to see. I've said this from the get go. I've said like, look, Moses Tuma, he's what 20, right?
Mm.
Usyk, it says he's going to retire when he's 41. It would be nice to see them two fight each other because the way I see it, like Moses Atuma, him being 20, if let's just say he was to fight Usyk next, and let's just say he was to lose to Usyk, there's nothing wrong with that because you know what, like you've gained that experience and that respect. You know what to do now. Do you know what I'm saying? That's my personal opinion. But at the same time, I get it. You're trying to build him up. Trying to, there's no rush, and that's true. There's no rush at all. But like, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, man. No, I think Uncle Frank, big up to him. I think he's doing a tremendous job, promoting him and building him up properly. And yeah, I think regardless if he were to take that fight, I think it would be a great experience for him. I still think he gets beat, and I still think Wardley also gets beat as well. But it's going to be tremendous, experience for both of them. Daniel's obviously saying Fury punches harder than Wardley. AJ punches harder than Wardley. Both beaten by Usyk. Usyk is too clever. Moses beats Usyk in my opinion. Moses is hungry and an animal. Moses is different to current heavyweights. The only person who can, to be honest. Oh, that's a bold statement from Daniel Thomas. Big up to you, man. Thanks for that, man. What you saying? What's your response to that,
I,
cuz?
um, again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everything we're saying is just opinions. Like I said, Frank at the moment holds the key to the heavyweight division. So if anything, if he said, "Look, Usyk and Moses, let's have it. Both southpaw one. Let's have it." Do you know what I mean? But they ain't gonna do. If anything, they might probably just wait until Usyk, you know, when he's on his way out, they make that fight happen. But then again, for me, it's boring. What's the point? It's like, look, I've said this many times. I said, look, when the likes of Fury and AJ fought Klitschko, we have to be at 100. Like, they didn't fight the prime Klitschko. They fought the Klitschko. He's already on his way out. But again, you know, it is what it is.
100%. I agree with you, cuz it's boring, but then at the same time, we're kind of, you know, when you see in hindsight, the division is forming up tremendously. So you have, you know, Mo Satoma, you got, you know, Wardley now, who's next in line. And look, cuz I wish you made a bet, you know. I wish years ago when you made that statement, you made a bet for Wardley to become world champion. And look, you're very, very close to, you know, achieving that, man. So I hope it happens for him. One way or another, it will. Against Usyk, not sure. I don't know if he will entertain that, but let's see
But
what happens.
you know what? My question is, yeah, why wouldn't he entertain it? Because do I say it'll be easy fight, right? Easy money, right? Well, why wouldn't he entertain it?
It's because he could do whatever he likes at that level. Cause you know, when you're at that level, where I know to us fans, we kind of want him. Oh yeah, I want him to fight this person and that person, but he's reached heights that he's been undisputed a few times, and you know he's done fights with certain people. Can he really, you know, bring himself to motivate himself to take that fight with the kind of money that's being offered as well? You know, he's on a certain, I would say, bracket in terms of money. Is that going to be offered to have this fight? We don't know. Is it going to be in the UK? Is it going to be in Riyadh? You know,
Yeah,
what's the,
I
you know
reckon
what I
it'll be
mean?
most probably Saudi if that's the case. But I
Yeah,
think but the thing is, right, remember, Usyk holds all of the belts, so regardless, he's gonna have to fight people to defend the belts anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I just don't see why, you know, I mean, look, it's up to him, but it'll be exciting just to see somebody like Fabio have the opportunity to fight Usyk. It will be really, really exciting because, like I said, just look at his background. Just look at his background, what he's done and what he's achieved in the sport. And he's basically last night was the semi-finals. Now he's through to the finals.
yeah, definitely. And Daniel made a good point here as well about AJ being fast tracked to glory, and no one expected him to beat Klitschko, which is true. An aging Klitschko as well, but it's still, you know, a tremendous feat. That fight ended up being a great one, great experience for him, and we saw what AJ was able to do, you know, throughout his career. Yeah, I think regardless, cause I think he will get this opportunity to fight for the belt. He is in line, but we obviously don't know if it's gonna be against Usyk. We just obviously have to wait and see what happens with that. But regardless, like you said, cause Ward Lee, it's tremendous to see him, you know, shining, you know, representing Ipswich. You know, one thing he does really well is he represents his people well, man. And you saw the emotions on the night, and it was great just to see, you know, him and the rest of the team, the people in the back end that's involved, you know, celebrating, you know, his triumphant win. So big up to him, man. It was good to see. It was good to see. I really don't get why Eddie Hearn let him go. Woof, that's a mad one. Cause yeah, you
I don't
understand.
think I don't think Eddie Heard let go. My understanding that they wanted to sign Wardley, but I think he was already in talks with Frank, and not just that. Remember, I think Dylan's his management or manager, and at the time, I don't. Yeah,
Dylan,
Dylan was obviously Dylan was on the band, innit? Do you know what I mean? You know, with because also supposed
yeah,
to fight AJ. So I think with all that, you know how it goes, back end and blah blah blah. So, but at the same time, it's just like, hey, look, he's doing it. You know, he's Queensbury fighter. He's doing it. He's doing well, man. He's doing well. One thing I'll say, look, regardless of his IQ or not, you know, he's doing really well. You know, he's doing really really well, and I think as the Brits whatnot, you know, like him or not like him, but you got to support him because look, you know, he's next in line for a world title shot. So because at the moment, when you think about it, right, who in Britain, who I think, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah. have we got any champions in Britain apart from I'm talking about world champions apart from what's his name? The guy from Liverpool.
Nick Bull.
Yeah. I don't think I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm talking about male. Like, I don't think we've got any world champions in Britain, have we?
We're struggling right now. Yeah, we are
Yeah, well,
struggling.
that's what I'm trying to
People,
say, and then that's what
if
I'm
you
trying to
know
say.
any
That's my
names,
point.
get involved, man. Throw them in the comments. If we've got any other names off to the top of our heads, I don't know, but yeah, cause it's absolutely crazy. Only Nick Bull, the FK Breeze is confirming. It's absolutely crazy. As a Brit,
Okay.
I adopted Parker. I don't really rate Woodley. Daniel's got like some vendetta against Wood. I think Daniel must have had a big bet on on Parker to win, man. But yeah, he has a great chin. But I believe most top heavyweights beat him, which is fair. And yeah, Daniel's obviously confirming as well that yeah, Nick Bull is the only champion. And Daniel, just enjoy it. No, it's all good, man. Don't worry, my brothers, man. It's good. We we want to obviously embrace, opinions from everyone. No one's right, no one's wrong, but this is just a platform for everyone to just voice their opinion. But cuz overall, big up to Wardley and to the rest of the team. It was a tremendous victory, and obviously, let's see what happens. Will it be Usyk next? That's the question. That is the question,
You
cuz.
know what? If it's not Usyk next, then Usyk has to vacate the title. Because if I was Woodley, I'd be like, wait, hold on. Why am I going to fight, defend the interim title from when I've just beat Parker? Do you know what I mean? Because they might say, "I'll fight, I don't know, fight Danny Dubois, fight Moses Tumo, fight Caballero, whatnot." Do you know what I mean? Like, no, why? I've done what I need to do now. Now, either give me the title shot or vacate the belt. That's simple.
You know what? FK Breeze, big up to FK Breeze, Yeah, it's a good point. He's saying Wardley is the UK Wilder. I don't think he's saying it from a perspective of the knockouts. I think
Yeah,
it's more for because Wilder, he obviously entered the sport late. He only got into
yeah,
the sport because, of his
yeah,
daughter and,
yeah.
from what he's achieved with that, without a lot of amateur experience going to the Olympics. So, yeah, there is a parallel universe where that does make sense. And big up to Ryan Fraser. Big up to you, brother. Salute, salute, salute. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. Appreciate you. And Wardley even challenged Bacoli. Ooh, is he gonna let our
Did
brother back in the
well.
mix? Is he gonna let our
He
brother back
said.
in the mix?
He said. I can't remember. I think along the line he said, "Look, he'll fight all of them." He said he'll fight all of them, and you see they'll beat them. Do you know what I mean? So you have to, innit? As a heavyweight, you can't just say, "Oh no, I'm not too sure. That's a tough fight." No, you have to. You got to believe in yourself, man. So one thing about the sport, if you don't believe in yourself, I mean, what's the point in being a boxer? If you don't believe in yourself, well, what's the point? Don't let the fans hype you up. They're not in there in the ring with you. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it'll be good. It will be a good fight. But Bacoli, okay, Bacoli right by now. I don't even know what's going on with Bacoli, if I'm honest with you, because the only fight that makes sense for Bacoli right by now, AJ ain't gonna entertain him. I think Bacoli should fight Zhang. I think that'd be a good fight. Just fight Zhang and give the fans what they want to see, and from there, because FE he ain't gonna fight Bacoli again. There's no point. He ain't gonna do it. So fight Zhang, fight Zhang. There's no point in fighting Joseph Parker. It'll be nice to see him fight Dillian White, but I think Dillian White will be entertaining. He'll be entertaining. What's his name?
Chisora.
Chisora. You never know. He can fight Babe Miller, but him and Babe Miller, they're cool in it. But obviously, money's involved, and they'll fight each other. But the only option Bacoli's got right now in the heavyweight division is Zhang. So if I was Ben Shalom, get Zhang's management on the phone and make that fight happen. That would be a good heavyweight clash. That'd be a good fight for Bacoli. That'd be a good fight for their new platform, BBC. But hey, that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, because I wouldn't mind to see it. Definitely. Congo versus China. That would be a big fight. And I wouldn't mind Riyadh season in China. I've said it a few times in the Bird's Nest. Let's do it. Or do Riyadh season in Congo. I'm going to say it so many times until we see it. So, His Excellency, you remember where Rumble in the Jungle 1 happened? It was back home in Congo, in our homeland. So, please bring a Riyadh season back home to Africa, man. Let's have it. Big event. Be big for the community, man. But yeah, cuz we're obviously coming up to the end of the show. I just want to obviously read out a few comments before we wrap up, man. But always loving the energy. Obviously, Daniel's just saying, enjoying the show. I just like to discuss and debate. Everyone has opinions, and I love hearing others' opinions too. Now, big up to you, Daniel. And what do you think is next for Caballero? He seems to be avoided or not talked about because he's a dangerous fighter. That's why, man. So I want you
Do you know what?
to know what you
With
saying.
Caballero, he's actually fighting in Germany. He's from Germany, right? Yeah, so he's got a fight in Germany. So I think it's just more of a home welcoming fight. I would like to see him, right, and Triple D. That's the fight I would like to see because Triple D, again, he wants to become 2 times world champion. Caballero and Triple D, they're both, under Queensberry. So that fight will be easy to make. But my understanding, ain't Daniel fighting someone for the IBF Eliminator?
Cuz, man, you gotta read this comment, bud. You gotta read this
Well,
comment, cuz from FK Breeze, man. You gotta read it for us,
oh,
man.
that so you mean I haven't hold on. Do you know what? I think at this point, yeah,
Big up to FK Breeze, bud.
I think Macaulay, he knows what he done wrong. Right? Look, him fighting Parker was one of his biggest boxing purse, yeah, biggest paycheck, whatever, yeah. And obviously, him fighting Effie, it was terrible. We thought, okay, after the Parker fight, but yes, he needs a nutrition, and I suppose at the same time, he needs to focus more. He needs to because whenever I see his videos, he's back at home, but he needs to stay in the gym here. In Scotland, stay at the gym, stay ready. At the moment, yeah, he's enjoying Fufu and Kwanga and Daba and Kamundele and Fumbo and Pundu and so and so. But he just needs to be stay ready. And I believe as boxers, they say, look, you got to humble yourself. You got to stay focused, stay in the gym, be ready. And then from there, wait for that call. But once you're out there, just, living your life. I understand he's got businesses back at home and also you got attendant businesses. But at the same time, because you've got money now, you should have a team that should do all this for you. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes as a boxer, taking too much on will affect you.
And it's sort of the whole Mayweather syndrome situation where I know I had to kind of create something because Mayweather's kind of created this, business outside of boxing. And what a lot of the fighters now are doing is Mayweather was doing it in his latter part of his career, but then people don't realize that during his come up, he
Yeah.
was fully focused on the boxing and had other people doing the back end stuff, man. So I think it's great that people are building their brands, doing their businesses, and doing whatever, man. But we need to obviously focus on the boxing. Let your back end people deal with the business and the brand, and sort out the afterlife after boxing as well, so that you're prepared. So I agree with you completely. That's a great point. Have your team focus on that stuff, and you just focus in the gym. Do you know what I mean? Because yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point, man. But yeah, cuz this is obviously the end of the show. Obviously, big up to you. Big up to the whole of the community. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. So obviously, big up to Daniel Thomas and FK Breeze for just getting involved in the comments. And whoever's tuned in right now is watching, we appreciate you. And yes, cuz obviously Wardley or Wardley, WAR, war by name, war by nature, showed his class,
Yeah.
showed his grit, showed his chin, showed his heart, and produced a tremendous performance, man. But we want to know, will Usyk be next? But guys, if you think Usyk's next, just get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think, and we would like to obviously discuss that, man. But cuz I'm going to leave you to wrap up the show. But God bless people. We appreciate the energy and the support.
Yeah, man. War by nature. Put some respect on his name, bro. Big up Ipswich. But no, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your continuous support. Thank you, and thank you. Have a lovely, productive week ahead. We shall see you again next week. Peace and love.
It's another band. All the and cars now, whichever get up. I start my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flips me a bag.